I will never rug you, I promise. Trust me, bro.
Got that. How would you categorize something like a Fedi mint, for example? Oh, sorry, Fedi, not Fedi mint, Fedi, the protocol. If that's not a layer three, or actually the question is that a layer three, or if it is not, what is it?
Yeah, I can. I'll go into this one.
Yes, can be. Okay, yeah, good.
Yeah. So the reason why I at first made the distinction with layer three and the controversy around using that as a phrase to describe something like Fedi, Cashew, is because of the non-existent possibility to unilaterally exit the layer, quote unquote. So with Lightning, as Jacob described, when you have a Bitcoin base layer, first layer, UTXO that you lock up with somebody else, with that same wallet that you locked it up with, you can take it back, bring it back to the base chain. So you can go from layer one to layer two and back completely sovereignly, self-sovereignly, not requiring a third party or other party period to approve or allow this to happen. Now with something like Liquid, it's not really a layer two or layer three, because what you're doing is you're sending Bitcoin or Lightning Bitcoin, so your layer one Bitcoin or your layer two Bitcoin, to the Liquid Federation, which I believe is 15 companies globally dispersed. Yep. Okay. And what they're doing is they're giving you the Liquid token, which is its own blockchain. Yeah. And this is a trade-off in that now that you're holding this Liquid token, to get back your Bitcoin or your Lightning Bitcoin, you also have to go through them to exchange it. And there's the counterparty risk that maybe they don't have the Bitcoin and they sold you this Liquid token and now it's not worth anything. Fedi and Cashew operate in a similar way, where the mints operate and run as Lightning nodes. So when you go from mint to mint, if you had, let's say, a Cashew wallet, you can send from one mint to another, and they're going to use on the back end a Lightning payment. But when you exchange Lightning Bitcoin for eCash tokens to get the privacy, to get all the benefits of the eCash, you're actually, similar to the Liquid example, exchanging the Lightning Bitcoin for eCash tokens. And these are different, fundamentally different things. And you can be rugged, and you have to trust that the mint will give you the Bitcoin back when you want to go back to Lightning. So to call them layer threes is not necessarily the best way to describe it, but for a lot of people, it's the easiest way to visualize it and understand some of the differences that they have with Lightning, because they are different than Lightning Bitcoin. They are different from base layer Bitcoin.
Right. So basically, Liquid is, I think, would you say that they're all federations?
So Fedi is designed, the protocol is designed such that multiple parties collaborate together to create a mint. So you can imagine us three creating a mint that we all need to sign off on when, I believe, I might not be getting the technicals right. I believe it's when the funds are have to move out of the mint. We would have to agree on that, as opposed to a Cashew mint where a single operator would be able to move the funds. There's obviously different trade-offs with these, but Liquid is a federated model as well. Multiple parties need to agree. And yeah, it's a trade-off. It's a question of trade-offs, but Fedi and Liquid are more similar in that than Cashew is, but Cashew and Fedi are both eCash, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, Liquid is a side chain to Bitcoin, and within that, it is a federation of companies, right? It's a federation of organizations. who have a reputation, and like you said, it's 50. I think it's 15, like you said, and basically for them, it's I think that the setup on Liquid is 11 to 15 multi-sig, right? So you would need, a lot for those federations, sorry, for those organizations to eventually rug you, but it is technically possible. On the Fedi side of things, it's, these mints are federations, but they're federations of individuals, federations of people that you may know include. It might be your, family members or friends or people that you trust, that you're close with, but they're federations of people. So that's kind of the way I see the difference between Liquid and Fedi. Federations of organizations, federations of people. Now, Cashew, like you said, is even though it is similar to Fedi in the sense that it uses Zcash, it's different in the way that it is set up. And I must say that I'm not super familiar with Cashew.
Yep, that is a good distinction to make. That with Fedimint, anyone can essentially collaborate to become a federated mint, and that decentralizes the custody of the Bitcoin that is taken in by that mint. So 3 people, 10 people, and these can be people, like you were mentioning before. I think this is a great way to have communities of people collaborate, maybe 10 really highly trusted people within a town or city can act as federated custodians for a Fedimint, and the people within there know these people by person. They work with them. One of them's a restaurant owner in the city. You trust these people. They have a reputation at stake if they rug the community. And this allows for a much more dynamic possibility of scaling Bitcoin transactions and also enhancing privacy. Cashew, I think, is also great. And I know that Callie does a lot of work on that protocol. And one of the interesting things that I've seen him bring up is the ability for multi-mint payments to take place. And because you're trading in your Bitcoin for these eCash tokens, there's a risk of rug pulls, like we were mentioning, but you could essentially have 20, 30 mints, and each one of them could have $10 each. So you have $200 to $300 total. And if you need to make a $100 purchase, they can route together using the Lightning Network on their back end to collaborate between the mints and send each $10 balance at one of those mints to the destination of who you're paying. And I think that this is a great way also to decentralize custody, especially in a situation where you're using the Cashew protocol and maybe you don't trust the mint. You don't want to give them $200 worth of Bitcoin and risk that being rug pulled. You divide that up into 10 mints or 20 mints, and you're able to send between those.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. How would you explain in an easy way for someone that is, I don't know, starting with Bitcoin, the advantages, the pros and cons of between Fedi and Cashew?
So they're all trade-offs, in my opinion. I think that both of them are great for spending money. I think that if you're going to keep a small amount on there, and that's going to be dependent on the person and how much money they have and what they're willing to hold, similar to as bringing a wallet, putting it in your pocket, and walking out with US dollars. You're not going to carry around $10,000 of cash. It's risky. You might lose the wallet. eCash is similar in the sense that if you lose the phone, then you are going to lose the money. They have created ways to recover with backup seeds, similar to like first base layer Bitcoin, but it is a bearer instrument in that sense. So anyway, to go back to what I was saying, you want to use this for spending money. I think that Fedimint, Cashew, great for that. And it's still really early days for this technology. I wouldn't recommend someone that isn't really familiar with how it works to use it and dabble with it. I would definitely recommend trying it, but keep in mind that small amounts of funds are probably the best to play with these tools. Did that answer your question? Is that kind of what you were looking for?
Yeah.
Edward's official recommendation is all in on Fedimint. I have launched a Fedimint. Send all of your funds to me. I will never rug you. I promise. Trust me, bro.
Got that. Yeah, no, that answers the question. Thanks a lot.